Hello, breadheads. Welcome to another episode of Thinking Fresh.
Thinking Fresh with Ty and Eric. How are you doing today, Ty? I'm Eric.
I'm Ty. It's a pleasure to meet you, Eric. I'm doing so great. I just heard some exciting news, a rumor about Subway that just crossed my desk, if you will, Eric.
Oh shit, dude. Rumor report. Sound the alarm.
I know we at Think Fresh like to deal in straight facts. That's how we protect our credibility as journalists. That's why we were a little hesitant to report on the tuna sub fiasco of early 2022. But I think I can kind of vindicate myself a little bit if I announce that this is solely a rumor. Is that true, Eric?
I don't think it matters. I don't think anyone's coming for us, you know what I mean, and making sure that we're speaking facts only. I think this podcast does have jester's privilege, so we are able to proceed with some caution.
Well, how about this, Eric? The fact is that this is a rumor. There, okay. We only deal in facts. Okay. I heard that Subway may be coming out with an iteration on the Southwest Chipotle sauce. Yes, that's right. V2.
This is a late 2023 upgrade, or what's the timeline on this? Is this something that happened?
Dude, I don't know when this is going to hit shelves, but it hasn't happened yet. I think rollout might be Europe first, but it's what they're coming out with is an extra spicy variant, which I know gets my mouth watering.
Insane. Okay, so there's an extra spicy one, and it's not the sriracha.
And it's not the sriracha, so they must be trying to fill that middle gap between the heat lovers and the heat deniers. Because I don't know about you, but whenever I get the Southwest sauce almost every time, but it doesn't add any bite. It's all creamy. I actually order it to take the edge off. Yeah.
Yeah, it almost does nothing for the sandwich, but it's kind of weird how it's like a default pick. It's like, I don't really know what sauce to get, so I'm going to get that, you know? Every single time I get it, but what am I really getting, you know?
Dude, this is the thing. It's kind of a judging a book by the cover type situation here, the ingredient by the menu. It's the same as the herbs and cheese. I think it's the default because it sounds fancier than it actually is.
You only notice the absence of it.
So people who are ordering the Southwest sauce, I think they're paranoid of accidentally making a basic bun. And they don't want...
Hold on a second. What do you mean a basic bun?
Like a basic foot long. I was just wordplay, my friend.
A plain Jane foot long.
Barefoot, if you will.
There we go. We found it.
We found it.
Continue.
A barefoot long, and so I think they're gravitating to the Southwest sauce because it offers a little bit something extra, something grandma wouldn't get. You know, your grandparents ain't getting this sauce on their sandwich. You're with it. You're hip. But it doesn't really do much for the sandwich. This is unfortunate because it has so much potential.
It does. So walk me through what this new one does. What information do you have on this new SWS?
Yeah, dude. Save our sauce. Southwest sauce. All I know is that it's good. It's going to have more heat. I don't know how they're injecting the heat. It could be more Chipotle, or it could be another actor in the sauce, another pepper. I also know the name, Eric. The name is going to be called X Spicy. That's like the letter X, like Twitter X.
X-spicy.
X-spicy Chipotle Southwest. Extra spicy. Something like that. X spicy.
Any idea what the X is supposed to mean? Like, is it supposed to be extra spicy, or is it like trying to like be a gender neutral? You know what I mean? It's like Latinx. Like, what is the MO here, Ty?
Yeah, dude. To the discerning linguist, they might even think it means not spicy, as in crossed out spicy. It's a very bad name, actually.
It is. Like, am I able to click on the X?
Yeah. Is that a CTA, that X? It's so funny. There's so many ways you could take it, but you're really rolling the dice with the heat level now. Does it mean absence of spice or addition of spice? We don't know.
Yeah, this is a good question. I need to know also where it fits in the hierarchy, because if the X stands for extra, that's very plausible. You know what I mean? This is kind of like a iPhone X situation. Like, where does it land in the lineup? You know what I mean? We
Dude,
skipped 9. We skipped the iPhone 9, and we also skipped the spicy version of the sauce. So what
damn,
is X spicy?
the Daily Mail didn't even come up with that theory. That's pretty good. This could be the 10th
That's what our job is,
iteration.
Ty.
Yeah. The 10th iteration of the South by Southwest sauce.
Oh shit.
And I don't know, they haven't really publicly talked about the other 9 versions in their annual keynote at Subway HQ.
That's
But
right.
you could presume they've been iterating on the recipe. It's such a popular sauce, they must be tweaking.
And we're back. So sorry, breadheads. I think I got a chopped salad connection from Ty just now. He is the inventor of the chop chop. I don't know what to do about this new sauce, Ty. I'm curious if this is a rip and replace, or if this is simply an addition. Do you think that the like number of bottle slots, and I'm not talking about bottle sluts, I'm talking about bottle slots, Ty. Do you think there's enough bottle slots for a new sauce? Do they have to like change the number of like holders they have, or can we simply just like take out the ranch and put this one in? But then there's gonna be like 3 red sauces. Do we really need that many?
It's too many red sauces, Eric, and I'm a little concerned too about their slot inventory. I think there's a bullet in every barrel of the sauce revolver at Subway. So if this has to be either a rip and replace to the OG Southwest, or maybe they're going to cut the worst performer on the lineup.
I would love to see the analytics at Subway. I don't have faith that the sandwich artist on duty is documenting like what sauce is being used. Maybe they can see it at a macro level, like how often they have to replace the mayo. It's probably like much higher than the green goddess, for example. But I would love for the sandwich artist to start saying like, okay, this guy ordered 2 lines of the light mayo at 1:45 p.m. on Wednesday. You know what I mean? Like that level of data. And then we can totally see like, okay, what's performing, what's underperforming, what meats need to be thrown out, things like that. Do you think that any level of data capture is happening?
I really doubt the sandwich artist is like writing down 2 lines of the white stuff in their margin of their daily journal, their bullet journal. But I think if they are tracking sauce consumption at all, Eric, it's not at the squirt by squirt level. It'll be when the bottle's empty. You know, they got to fill up the tank. So maybe they burn through what 10, 20, 30 bottles of mayo a day. I have no idea. They're probably burning through more mayo than most other establishments.
This makes me think, Ty, do you think they clean out the bottle every time, or do they just refill it?
Oh,
Pretty sure
definitely not,
we've
dude.
we've been looking at the same bottle since like '98.
It's probably got like erosions where the gloved up thumb has pushed it every time. Looks like your Aesop hand lotion bottle after a few uses.
Totally, dude. Eventually their thumb will just go straight through the plastic because of how weakened the bottle gets after many years of squeezing. It's kind of like
I would
breaking the
love to be.
condom.
Love to be present to that, Eric. When the bottle breaks, you just get like your sandwich just gets a waterfall of sweet onion on it.
When the mayo levee breaks, it just floods the entire town.
Yeah, dude. When it's the mustard, that's a different type of golden shower.
Oh shit. Oh dude, I went to IKEA the other day, Ty, and I squirted the most beautiful mustard line on my dog IKEA has ever seen. Okay, it was beautiful.
Wow. So tell me, how did you pipe up this lager? Did you go a wiggle line? I love the wiggle. Or was this just like a straight across one and done?
Well, Ty, this is the thing that Subway sauce bottles are completely incapable of doing. The pumper at IKEA, the mustard pump, it naturally gives a wave. You know what I mean? So all you have to do is move the log at a consistent pace across the mustard spout, and it'll leave the perfect like squiggle trail in its wake.
Like a
You know what
a
I'm
dog
saying?
wagging its tail.
Exactly, dude. I'm wagging my tail, the mustard's wagging its tail, and I'm so excited to eat it. I was even I was doubling up 2 dogs in my hand, and I was going mustard, ketchup, times 2. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
Yeah, dude, you're dual wielding. This dog loves those dogs. Ow!
Ow. That's right.
Dude, that's great. So, do you think the problem with Subway, because like Subway has a sauce problem? Last time I was at Subway, Eric, you bared witness to this. The sandwich artist goes to put the sauce on the sandwich. they they touch down on bread, middle of the sandwich, not even at the tip, and they squirt only one side of the footlong, and then overextend and squirt a bunch of sauce on the counter. Like they got the width correct, but then they misjudged the placement by about 4 inches.
Yeah, sometimes you can't really aim as a guy. I think that's the biggest misconception as men. It's like just because we can stand and do it, we can't aim. You know what I'm saying? Aiming's a whole different story. So I empathize with the sandwich artist who's probably nervous, or maybe it was his first day. Nevertheless, Ty, I did witness it. The paper took a beating, and I feel bad that Bay had to eat that sandwich because there was sauce on the outside of the bun. And once you compromise the outside of the bun, there's nothing to hold on to.
It's true. Like, if you were to ruin a sandwich quickly, decompose it faster, get it wet on the outside. That hard outer shell is really it's like a turtle. It's protecting the inner goodies of that foot long. I don't know, man. If sandwich artists keep this up with those, their hit accuracy rate is like it's like the dumb stormtrooper of the fast food industry, and I don't think that's looking good for a company that markets their frontline workers as artists. Where's that artistic touch? I'm not looking for a Pollock over here. I'm looking for a precise Da Vinci.
That's exactly what I was going to get at, Ty. Maybe they were expressing themselves creatively and said, like, you know what? Fuck the canvas. I don't color inside the lines. You know what I mean? I'm going to go outside the lines. I'm going to make this sandwich more expressive. I'm going to make this client happier because they got a one of one,
Damn, an NFT. That actually makes me respect it a little bit more now that you've reframed it for me.
It's all perspective.
Would you ever just like... What if the sandwich artist just like turned the barrel to you, Eric? You, the patron of mine. A little squirt for your poor sportsmanship making the foot long. A little squirt of mayo right at you.
A little friendly fire. Oh, no.
Do you think that ever happens? Do you think they ever like just... They're annoyed with a customer and they're just like, here's a little squirt on you, bro.
Yeah, most likely. I think the first thing that happens is like the bottle is thrown at the customer's head. Like if an altercation would arise in the sauce section of the sandwich making process, the bottle will definitely take flight first before any kind of squirtage. But this begs the question, Ty, if you were behind the line and you had an angry customer, what sauce are you squirting on them? Well, which sauce is going to inflict the most damage?
Oh, dude, I'm going for the hot sauce immediately for 2 reasons. One, it's really low viscosity, so it's just going to like fly out of that bottle for as little effort, right? It's oily, it's fluid. And then if you can hit the eyes or any other open orifice with that, or maybe a cut. Most like construction workers have a few like cuts and bruises. You're going to do extra damage there.
I love that answer, Ty. I might do you one further. I'm gonna take the marinara bucket and I'm heaving that thing over the shelf and hopefully splattering them all over with the marinara sauce. It's gonna look like a crime scene after that.
Nah, dude, you're treating your patron like a winning Super Bowl coach.
Yeah, dude. Except instead of this Gatorade, you're gonna catch some haterade across your back.
Oh, damn. But people are still going to be asking, what color will the marinara be? Because I truly don't know what the bottom of that bucket looks like. It might gradiate down to green.
Yeah, dude, what's the over-under on whether the marinara is gray?
It's only red on the surface. It bubbles up. Yeah. That's the marinara oxidizing.
Speaking of turning red, Ty, I have some developments in my LA trip planning that I want to share with you. This is probably a preventable thing, but it still happened to me nonetheless.
Oh no. Did your flights get canceled?
No, thankfully nothing bad that will ruin the trip like that. But there is a small hiccup on one of the days, and I knew going in that we would be in LA for Thanksgiving, but I had no idea how serious Americans were about observing this holiday.
Do they actually care about it? Because in Canada, no one really cares about Thanksgiving.
Nobody gives a shit here. But over in Los Angeles, as far as my Resi, my Talk apps, my Open Tables, you know what I mean? So far on all of these apps, I would say 99% of restaurants are closed on Thanksgiving Day.
Ooh, that is very problematic because you really strategize your meals, and now this is your playoffs. You're gonna have to make some tough calls here. You go into a 24/7 Denny's, perhaps an In-N-Out. How are you getting around this?
Thank God for In-N-Out, Ty, because I don't think anything is open except for Nobu. And obviously that is an option that is on the table. I think the Malibu location still has tables at time of recording available for Thanksgiving night. No word on if there's a prefix menu, but I don't know. What do you think? Should I go big on Nobu or should I go really small on In-N-Out?
Dude, the risk with going big is the prefix menu. Like, what if you go there and you end up eating some weird variation of turkey, Like someone want to do a creative take on Brussels sprouts. Like, we don't need any more of those.
Oh no, not the creative Brussels sprouts. Not the artistic fucking cauliflower. Yeah, dude, there's a big risk there, especially with Chef Nobu Matsuhisa. What if he decides to serve me some turkey sashimi while I'm sitting beachside in Malibu? I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah, dude, don't get the turkey sashimi at Nobu. I don't think your travel insurance will cover that.
That's the kind of place where, like, if you were served raw, like, turkey or undercooked turkey that's pink on the inside, you probably wouldn't question it. You'd be like, oh, it's tataki style. And you would just eat it. And then you'd probably die on the flight home. But I don't know. I think it might be fun to, like, have a Friendsgiving with, like, a bunch of, like, anonymous rich people. Like, that could be kind of interesting. It's like,
dude, it's a future Friendsgiving because they're just the friends you haven't met yet.
Exactly, Ty. This is a blind Thanksgiving where, telling me Timothy Chalamet could be in attendance because maybe his parents, they don't like him anymore, or they're not planning a dinner for him on Thanksgiving. So there's a good chance that, him and Kylie might be in attendance, or I don't know, Kanye doesn't really have a family anymore either. He could be there. Like, it could be really actually interesting to see who shows up to Nobu Malibu on Thanksgiving. Like, this could be an experience.
For sure. It's just going to be you and a bunch of canceled Hollywood men who don't have a family left to go home to. That is so exciting.
I'm going to have to battle Chris D'Elia for the last reservation.
Wow, that is a very exciting opportunity. I don't think you can miss out on that, Eric, because there will be a very lonely, washed up actor amongst you. And that's your chance to send him a drink, maybe join in on a omakase venture with him, and
that's true.
Perhaps make a new friend of the pod.
That's true. That is a good networking opportunity. Or I could, like, try to lace someone's drink. Like, if I see Shia LaBeouf, I'll just throw in some fentanyl or something into a shot of 42 and then ask the waiter to send it over. But
dude, that probably happens to Shia all the time. He will be wise to it. You think you're gonna get past him? You think you're the first person to try to drug Shia LaBeouf? I don't think so.
I don't think he's the one to check whether he's being drugged. I think he'll just take it and, like, maybe hope that there's drugs in there. It's more likely. But yeah, this could be interesting, Ty. Like, what if you're, like, a rich famous person and you're a loner on Thanksgiving, like on any major holiday where everyone is eating with their family, you're probably going to spend way more than usual, which would happen at Nobu. Catch LA is also open.
Mm.
That seemed like another opportunity to run into some like Selling Sunset cast members.
The challenge with Catch though is it's too much of a C and B scene place.
Hmm.
So your lonely stoner will not be in attendance there because all of the people putting on their social show will
Hmm.
just bum them out. You know, you need to find a restaurant that's like a bit quieter. You cozy up with the servers, not with the crowd, and you feel like they're your family for the night. So I actually think Nobu's the play.
Yeah, I think so too. Have you been to Catch, by the way? Because like I've looked into it and it looks like an awful place to be. Like I won't lie.
Dude,
But nevertheless, it's so alluring. Like I kind of want to experience it.
yeah. So I've never gotten to dine there because I got rejected by the maitre d' for wearing sandals. Well, technically, I wasn't wearing sandals, but someone in my party was. So our
Oh
options were
no.
head down the street to a designer footwear store and just pick up something fresh, or go find another establishment. So we opted for the second one, but it did look like the paparazzi was taking my picture. They're like, "Oh, we don't see podcasters around here very often," and it definitely seemed like the CNB scene kind of spot, Eric. Like they were putting themselves out there. You know, it felt like a recruiting event.
100%. That makes me nervous because I don't really want to be seen. I want to see. You know what I mean? I want to observe the clout chasing live, kind of like a zoo. You know what I mean? Like when you're at a zoo, Ty, there's a fence between you and the oppressed. In this case, I'm the oppressed, but I still want to observe outwards to see what kind of, you know, rich folk, Illuminati, lizard people shit is going on. You know?
Totally. Well, dude, let me tell you, if you want to see animals, you gotta go to a zoo. So that means you have to dine there.
100%. Okay, this actually helps my decision making, Ty. I think I will, in fact, go to Nobu. I will give them a ring. I'll get Mr. Nobu on the horn right after this pod. And for any listeners who are in LA, I'll see you there. Any of the
Very cool.
loner stoners who are listening to this with no family or partner, maybe you can, you know, get a piece of fish at my table.
Tack an extra chair on Eric's table. That would be a really funny way to meet a listener. You know.
Absolutely. I'll be sitting across from Pedro Pascal and probably Jacob Elordi. So we have room for one more, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Dude, that's so exciting for you three at the bar. You know, the barkeep says, "Are you all brothers? Is this your family dinner?"
Wow, you guys are all so tall and mustachy.
You
Excellent.
must all, yeah, you must all be in the Hollywood scene, and you are all for different reasons.
Absolutely. We're all in the entertainment industry. But I will ask the barkeeper, what's you know, what is a lonely person who's dining out on Thanksgiving usually order here?
Mm. He'll probably recommend some sort of turkey bourbon cocktail would be appropriate.
No, no. What? There literally is a turkey bourbon. Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about, my friend.
That's what he's talking about. Wow, that's. I can't believe how perfect that answer was. I'm gonna have to order that. I think that's the move.
Mm-hmm. I think so too, and maybe I'll
Might be.
have something at home.
Yeah, it might be too low shelf for Nobu, but I'm curious. What do you have any plans for American Thanksgiving here in the Great White North?
Well, last year I went down to Seattle, and that was a fun experience to partake in the American cultural affair that you just described. But I don't think this year I'm going to do anything. I think I'm going to lay low. I think I'm going to eat a vegetarian meal, maybe candlelit, maybe drink some turkey bourbon, and say amen.
Put on your
Because of touchdown
finest.
style. Mm-hmm.
Put on your finest mohair turtleneck.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I do. I love wearing a turtleneck to Thanksgiving every year.
Of course you do. Lovely. Well, what did you do in Seattle then? I'm guessing you went to some friend's house, or do you know anyone in Seattle?
Yeah, I got friends in every major American city, so of course I did.
This guy's got shooters everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, different bros and different area codes.
Damn.
But,
Cool.
No,
Well,
that was cool. Actually, I think there's an episode about it. While I was there last year, I did a tour of the Google campus in Seattle and ate food from every restaurant in the Google campus. I don't know if you remember that episode.
I do remember. Oh, man, time really flies by when you're having fun. Okay, well, one last thing about Thanksgiving in LA, Ty. I had a nice conversation with friend of the pod, Amex Concierge employee Shane.
Not Shane again. Oh man, a recurring character in the Think Fresh lore.
Yeah, dude, I feel so bad for Shane at this point. So before I had clued in that everything was closed for Thanksgiving, I had Shane get on the case for me. You know what I mean? He was a real MVP in the story because he was able to do all the legwork for me.
That's really great. Yeah, you opened up a ticket with his help center and he made some calls, connected some dots, and now you're sitting on two great options.
That's right. Well, not necessarily. So with Amex Tie, there's no such thing as a ticketing system. It's very white glove. So thankfully, I was able to get in touch with Shane right away, and I asked him to book me something for the Thanksgiving day at Craig's. Okay, this is the original plan. Homeboy called me back and said, hey, they're actually closed on Thanksgiving. Do you want me to try a different day? I'm like, yeah. The next day's fine. 6 p.m. He's like, okay, sounds great. I'll call them back tomorrow night because that's when they reopen. And then the following morning, Ty, I saw that the reservations opened up and I booked it myself. And then like 7 hours later at 4 p.m., Shane calls me again. He says, hey, by the way, I was in the middle of booking your reso, but turns out there's already one under your name. Is this true?
Oh, this is so awkward.
I'm like, I'm so sorry, Shane, but the resos opened up and I just snatched one up while I could. So I won't be needing your services anymore.
Oh my God. Dude, you're stealing his job, Eric. The man needs to work.
I know. I felt so bad because he said, he did sound really pensive on the phone. And, you know, he offered me like, hey, if you need any recommendations or tips while you're here, I'm happy to help you.
Wow. Anything
else? And I said, no, that'll be all, Shane. Thank you.
Wow. He really took the L like a gentleman. I feel bad for the guy, Eric. He probably sounds like he's working 24/7 on your needs. And I bet he stepped away from supper with his family to make that reservation and then also proceeded to call you.
He absolutely did because he called me from a Toronto number. And so that means it was like 7 p.m. when he called me. So he did step away from dinner with his kids. I'm sorry, Shane.
Sorry, Shane.
But you know what, Ty? I think I'm flawless with every other representative at Amex Concierge except for Shane, which I'm 0-2 with. He hasn't done anything for me so far.
I don't know if he's the problem or Think Fresh, but I feel bad for him because he's forever intertwined with our lore, you know? He will be featured in Think Fresh trivia nights for eras to go.
Yeah. He is our biggest op. Maybe second biggest after Juice Bar.
Third is Pepinos.
That's right.
And believe it or not, Subway is fourth. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of recurring characters on this show, and we're gonna have to name somebody at Subway so that they can join the roster.
Yeah, we need to dock someone and then make the sole purpose of Think Fresh to either get them on the pod or take them down in some way. I don't. It's a thinly veiled threat, but I think we can pull some strings and incentivize them to speak with us.
That's right, Ty. It's because we have to differentiate Subway the sandwich giant with our local franchise. You know what I mean? They're two different evils, and they must be dealt with accordingly.
It's a really good point. There's so many layers of final boss at Subway that it could be unsurmountable for any one actor to take on such a challenge. But you and I, we have the experience, we have the motivation. I think we're going up every level of the corporate ladder until we speak to the CEO himself.
That's right. It's a multi-front war, and we're getting ready to deploy our units.
We got soldiers in every city. Look out, Subway.
That's right.
We're gonna interview you like crazy.
That's right. We're hangry as hell. Ty, thanks for indulging on this episode with me. It's been great. I had to get that off my chest. And looking forward to trying a new sauce. Finally, a new sauce that we can sink our teeth into.
I am so excited for that. My palate has been craving freshness, so think freshness, everybody.
Think freshness. Ciao.
Ciao.